Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Drelisak. When brother and sister Andrew Sparks and Liz Arndt saw an historic church near their home going up for sale, they took a leap of faith. With a vision of what it could become, the two teamed up to give new life to a church that was no longer being used. Their business, Sparks in the Valley, is a cafe, gift shop, and event venue, and it's shining a bright new light in the Indian Head, Pennsylvania mountain community for locals and visitors. Let's meet Liz and Andrew. So Liz, let's get to know you first. Tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up here and graduated. Tell us a little bit about your past.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Indian Head, Pennsylvania, so right up on the mountain, and then I went up to Connellsville High School, graduated in 2008, and after high school, I did my undergrad at Seton Hill University in Greensburg, so not too far away, and then got my master's. I have an MBA from the University of Pittsburgh, and then after education, I ended up moving to Georgia. Throughout school, I had always had internships and things, but I ended up in an HR position in Americus, Georgia, 2.5 hours south of Atlanta. Ended up moving right outside Atlanta later, but I spent 6 years in Georgia following the corporate ladder.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and then you ended up back here.
I did.
Married?
So I married someone that actually rode my bus to high school. But he was living in Ohio and I was living in Georgia at the time. But I married John. We're 6 years married now, and we have 2 little beautiful babies, Oliver and Lillian. Who Oliver
Who's
just turned.
Lillian?
Lily.
Yeah.
Ollie and Lily. But Oliver's 5 and Lily will be 3 this month.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And Andrew, are you older?
Younger.
Younger?
So, younger siblings.
How much younger?
3 years.
3 years, okay.
Yeah, so we went to school whenever it was junior high still in Connellsville, so we never went to like junior high or high school together. We were just like old enough that we didn't get to, but
Yeah.
I basically like rinsed and repeated a lot of what Liz did, but my own way. So I graduated in 2011 from Connellsville, and then went to the University of Pittsburgh for business and Spanish. And then after graduating, spent a year teaching English in Nicaragua just because I wanted to really immerse myself in the language to learn it. And then came back here and started working with our family businesses a little more closely. So started our food truck and Fresh, and helped get that established. And then our jewelry store too, Westside Jewelry. So helped with that for a couple of years, and then ended up getting my MBA as well at Pitt. And following that, worked at UPMC. I really fell in love with product design and user experience. So I worked at UPMC doing user experience design for hip and knee arthritis app for McGee. And then now have left healthcare and work for American Eagle, doing the same thing, but UX research. So more fun, jeans and t-shirts.
Wow, That's awesome. That is
Yes.
awesome. What a path on both of you. And
Yeah.
here you are. And here you are. You know, I think being entrepreneurial is just in your DNA, as you mentioned, the food truck and then the businesses that you have, that Westside Jewelry. Your mom, Linda Sparks, also owns Sparks Catering, and in addition to Westside Jewelry. And your family established Andy's Army years ago.
Yeah.
To support the needs of the community and well beyond. So it's just now coming together, here you are, to create a business that feeds the needs of the mountain community. It just makes perfect sense, right? It's just in your DNA, and you've been part of the business. And I know that you're both. I see Liz also with Sparks Catering. Both of you have been so instrumental in all that. Which, by the way, the food is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
is so good. We're gonna talk. Okay, so you have this business. You have this wonderful business. Tell us, how did it come to be? What was the aha moment that said, we're going to change course? What happened?
Well, I guess, I'll start. I saw it.
Started with you.
Yeah, we saw them taking stuff out of the church. And I was like, oh, is that church closing? And I was surprised. I'm living at home in the mountains. And we saw them clearing it out and found out that they were closing the church. And I was like, wow, that would make such a great coffee shop, like a grab and go place coffee shop, because we're on the main road in the Indian Head, and just, filled out the little inquiry online, went and saw the space, and was blown away by how beautiful it was. And we grew up 2 doors down. So like had never been in it, but called Liz after doing the little tour. And I was like, hey, I told her beforehand, I was like, hey, I'm going to look at this church. And I called her afterwards, like, we have to buy this church. And I was like, I need you to do this with me. I was like, I can't give up. I'm not giving up my job because I really love like what I'm doing. And I was like, I need you. You're meant to do this right now. Like we can do it if like you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I should mention. So I did leave corporate America. My path took me back to Pennsylvania, and shortly after our father passed away unexpectedly in March of 2023. 2 months later, I kind of reevaluated and stepped away from corporate life and to be a stay-at-home mom raising those lovely babies I was talking about. And I knew eventually I would come back to some sort of workforce, but now it's entrepreneurship and owning a business. And so it really made sense timing-wise when you saw the property. We knew what it could be potentially. We had all these ideas and all these grand things, and have so much experience from our mother and from seeing business. It all just kind of felt right. And then we'll get into the family history, but we found so much more that it feels like it's the right path and the right thing to be doing right now. And we're really excited.
It just made sense.
Yeah.
We're going to buy. You weren't expecting that call.
No, we're buying a church. I'm like, wait, what? And we had the keys about a month later.
It was perfect timing too, because I was living at home, saving to buy a house too in Pittsburgh. That, so for the first time ever in my adult life, I was like actually saving like a large amount of money to make a purchase like this, and it just turned out to be a church. It was perfect timing. Yeah.
So for now, you didn't buy a house; you bought a church.
Yes, for now, just for now. Yeah.
We've got goals here.
Yeah, well, yeah. You see the houses you can buy, and then like what this building is just so much history, and
It's so neat that you both you could see the potential. You immediately could see the potential for what it could be. And that is in your DNA.
Well, and also because it's like literally see our house from the parking lot. You know, like it's in our backyard. It's somewhere like in an area of the beautiful Laurel Highlands that we just like love and cherish and want to bring more to.
Right.
So
it's awesome.
All feels great.
It's perfect. So let's talk about the renovation. So it took a lot. A lot. What did it look like? So here you are. Now you have ownership. You've got a key. Here we are. What did it look like to have to renovate? What happened? To paint a picture.
I think we were lucky because we have so many people in our lives. Our dad was a carpenter and like grew up in his like uncle and father's business, and our uncle Tim also had a carpenter business. So starting out, it was calling every person we ever met like through those two and being like, hey.
There are a lot of connections. Yes.
Yeah.
And so we felt like we could trust them in getting expertise, because we didn't start things right away like we did. If you on our social media, we documented us tearing up the carpet and things. So some of those things we did initially on our own, literally kicking down walls and taking off paneling, just to assess where we were, and then bringing in all these experts that are from our uncle and from our father, both of whom have passed away. You know, we felt it was guided by them too, because we had their friends helping us. And in making the decisions that I'm not a construction person, but I got really comfortable with Home Depot and 84 Lumber and Lowe's and all the stores, and just figuring it out through these great connections that were through our family.
Yeah, we got to have trust too, because it was easy to just say, what would you do? What would you, if this was yours, what are we supposed to do? So, and like when you have like that relationship with people, they are like, maybe it's not the easiest thing for them to do, but we didn't like cut corners. We like did it like how we were supposed to do it. So really proud of like how like the integrity of it.
We have incredible craftsmen and team members that were helping us. But when we got it, it looked like a church, right? Like it had carpet, it had pews. We sold some pews. We had an altar stage. There were things we like did try to give back to the church community as well. We had posted on our social media. We gave, some different leftover artifacts, but they had actually gotten rid of pretty much everything they had wanted to, but we still tried to preserve what was still left there, and you didn't just trash it or anything like that.
That is so nice. And even the integrity of the church. You've got stained glass windows and the things. Tell us about some of the things that you kept kind of or restored or even moved or even got rid of, whatever you needed to do. Tell a little bit about what did it I know all that ripping out the carpet and the people that were helping you, but tell us a little bit about the preservation, if you
Yeah, I mean, we have the original floors upstairs. That was a huge piece to preserve. Kelly Brown was amazing with the floors because not only did we restore the floors that had been under carpet and the ones that it was exposed under the pews, but we brought everything down to one level. We removed the altar stage, and also changed the heating. So it used to be a gravity-fed giant furnace, but we got more floor square footage when we put the HVAC system in, the split level units. And so he restored and pieced together the original floors that were there like in the 1930s. And so now they have a little bit of new life, a little bit of a different lighter stain to them. We preserved, obviously the stained glass, gorgeous to see during the day. We didn't change any of that, but we did add an area where we could have natural light come in through the French doors in the deck. That was Andrew's vision.
So the we added a deck onto the back side and put in like an archway. So it's really nice that their stained glass is beautiful, but there was no natural light. So it's made it a lot nicer. And there's like a nice like indoor and outdoor, and it looks over like the valley. That is like the picturesque part of the property too. So I feel like that really changed it. But yeah, the craftsmanship of like preserving everything, it was really cool. Like finding like chestnut wood that was used. That was like we found out wormy chestnut. Blythe came around, and I'm going to misquote it, but like 1912 or 1914, the mutation started. But the building itself has stuff that predates that Blythe. So like built from like 1800s wood. It just has so much history, and finding out all these little things along the way makes the building even that more special.
That's something really special too. I know we'll get more into family ties, but the church itself we didn't realize was dedicated to our great uncle as well, and that was really special. And we left not only that plaque there, but there are so many things like the stained glass windows are all dedicated to former members of that church as well. So, and there's other things. So all of that is still there and still preserved in the memory. And actually, it says dedicated to Howard Sparks, and that the text that is used on Sparks is actually the text that we're using on our branding. On our branding there.
Oh, wow. And you have a beautiful logo and all that. So that is really cool. I love that. I love that the way that you've kept that so tightly knit. And you were talking about too about there was a tornado. And tell us a little bit about that, because there's some pieces of that. It'll make more sense when you explain it.
So the date, it was in April of 1929, I believe. There was a tornado that came through Davistown, the Indian Creek Valley, and there's old historical pictures of this I found on Facebook and newspaper.com, and we went through like a deep dive of the history. But winds came across that day and completely like wiped out the little valley that was there. So the church where it originally was actually across the street and up the road a little bit. So there's actually newspaper clippings of the parishioners at the time fundraising to get a property rebuilt. And our family kind of came in with that as well, because our great uncles and grandfather dedicated part of the land so the church could be where it is now. There was another family as well.
So the Adams family and the Sparks family both gave like pieces of land that became the property that we own now, which is really cool.
Did you know that before?
No. So we now own property that was once owned by our great grandfather. So it's just really it feels very full circle, because on that property was right next to where Sparks in the Valley is today, that we own that parcel of land, used to be the Sparks General Store. It was the first post office in the area. There was a butcher shop. There was penny candy.
TV shop at one time.
There was a lot of things. So like our family has always been in the valley and been doing things, so it felt right. But I kind of sidetracked there because we were talking about the tornado.
I'm glad you said that. That's so good. That's so important. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. So tell us a little bit about what Sparks in the Valley offers.
Sparks in the Valley, it's primarily we started with the idea of like the concept around coffee, because there's not like, I moved back home and I was like, it's 15-20 minute drive in any direction to get a good coffee. So we thought that primarily it got habitual, and that builds a sense of community and that daily kind of service that like we are confident we could deliver, because we have amazing employees and people that came onto our team. So that was number one. Number two, growing up in retail, we knew we wanted to provide the opportunity to, curate our own gift shop. Like Liz and I love cool things and oddities and to shop.
Tell,
And
tell,
yeah.
tell us about the gift shop piece.
Yeah.
What would we find there?
Yeah.
There's some Sparks branded merch that we do
Mhm.
have, but
Yeah.
there are things that we've curated like jams and jellies that are local from the area, not too far away. We've got handmade soaps that are there. We have 2 amazing pottery artists that we have in-house too that have like a variety of pieces and wonderful colors and earthy. So it's just made literally right around here in the Laurel Highlands. And yeah, we've got
Jewelry,
from
obviously.
West Side
Jewelry,
Jewelry. A nice little partnership there, so people that don't want to have to go down off the mountain. It was great for Valentine's Day, or just in
Right.
general for
Lots
people.
of toys too for kids.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have like
Wow.
little, I feel like Liz and I have really tried to find toys that are great for like taking anywhere with you, but also like maybe like in nature, or whether it's a little bit like less stimulation toys, like whether it's like handmade
Nice.
little
Nice.
wooden things that we bought in our travels, or yeah, I feel like curating something. Every time we shop, we're like, okay, we have lots of cute things for women. We have to like get some kid things, or we have to get men. So I think there truly is something for everyone. If not, please let us know what the idea is.
Very thoughtfully
Yeah.
curated. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. That is so
Yeah.
awesome. So you have the gift shop. You have now let's talk about the grab and go. What does that look like?
Yeah.
So every day we do have a hot special and a
Okay,
soup that is
okay.
available that you can take. And we've posted our menus to get that out. So we're developing, seeing what the community likes. So far, chicken pinwheels seem to be the winner. People
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
those.
Very,
Bit of
very.
the Connersville nostalgia there from the school meals.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But no, so then in the grab and go cooler, we're constantly changing it, but it's some of the favorites like from Truck and Fresh and Sparks Catering, those same recipes where we're having some of our fresh salads, but then chicken salad by the container, or I had made little charcuterie boxes the one way. We have yogurt parfaits. We've got
Daily sandwiches, daily wraps, daily salads, daily pasta salads, a hot special, and then we have pastries that we make in-house, and pastries too that we source, like almond croissants from a great bakery in Pittsburgh. And we have pepperoni rolls every day, breakfast sandwiches every day, ham and cheese croissants. So yeah, really something for anywhere from like morning through like lunch and evening for dinner. We're only open till 2:30, but so many people taking food and our hot specials and having them for dinner.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And all that really great food that you offer. My favorite thing from Sparks Catering was always the chicken salad croissant.
Yeah, for sure. That is
those are there.
We can pay the light bill with our chicken salad croissants. Yeah,
Truly.
That is so good.
No, yeah, that is a family secret. That is one of the secrets that Linda is not willing to give up just quite yet. She's given up a few, but that one she's holding on to. I know a little bit. I think you do too, but we're not passing that secret over.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. Well, it makes it really, really special. And then you also do events there too. So what does that look like? And talk a little bit about the event space and just that.
Yeah, well, we did have our first wedding there. It was wonderful in February. So the event space, we can seat up to 75 people there. It's perfect, smaller type venue versus maybe like a 200 person sitting. If you want to have something more intimate, 75 and under, it's a really great space. But we can do we've done birthday parties for children. We have a 5-year-old birthday party coming up this weekend too. Showers. But what we like about this space as well is how versatile it is, not just for events. Because we did even have a piano recital there as well, so we could set it up differently. But the community aspect too.
There's lots of. We did like a flower workshop and yoga class. One night we did a charcuterie making and flower making, and then we're doing starting yoga classes. I teach yoga, and we have a couple other teachers in the community that are going to start offering weekly classes because there has been interest, and really cool to see that there is interest in the community from all different ages. So we were able to do a kids yoga class that we, we're just shocked with the attendance and announcing it for 6 days, and brought one of my friends in who teaches kids yoga in Pittsburgh, and we had a lovely workshop. And I feel like Liz and Andrew would have loved that as kids, growing up 2 doors down. So it's fun to be back doing things that are special, special anywhere, but extra special somewhere that doesn't have opportunities like that. But we see that as really growing based on what the community wants. And I'm excited for the summer. We have visions of gardens and what could a gardening club look like, and what monthly things can we offer for kids, weekly things, what, teachers we can collaborate with. It's really just, I feel like the possibilities are endless to have like a multi-use space like this. It's really exciting.
I love, and it's so thoughtful that you've so well thought of the children of kids.
Yeah.
The students that come to the yoga class, how young are they?
This group we did 4 to 11 was the ages. So we wanted them to do it like independently. So parents were there watching if they wanted to, or having coffee, or most of them were sitting in the back talking. I did have to yell at them to be quiet when we were trying to do it. But the kids were so into it. I was like, don't distract them. Like they're all in right now. Like you guys are just chatting. It's really special though, watching them get to do it and really drop in.
And even from that, it really it's you think about that and just like self-improvement and helping that. I'm sure that it helps kids learn to focus.
Yeah.
And all those things that you would hope that, could grow into lifelong skills. So
Absolutely.
That's really awesome.
Even if they fight one less time with their sibling that's at home. That's what we said. Like all the parents, like they were so calm leaving.
There you go.
And just, having space to realize what they have control of their emotions.
And even for the workshops, we had a 5-year-old at one and a 7-year-old at one, and they were great at the flower arranging, and then they could do the little things. So it's giving them exposure to that too. I think it's all the things. So possibilities are endless. We're just getting started there.
And I love it because it's something new every day. It really is.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless. Thank you for that. You were mentioning you did when you opened it up and you have the coffee. There was a contest, if you will, to choose the roaster. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So very curated coffee too.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, we did a blind taste test because we wanted to make sure that we loved the coffee. We're like, okay, we're coffee first. We know food, we know retail.
Right.
Coffee was new to us, so we made sure that we sourced from a bunch of different locations. And I said, excuse me, we'd sourced from one of our. You can go ahead. I need a drink of water. Sorry.
No, we had multiple vendors we were looking at, and the person we ended up choosing from a blind taste test, because it was a lot of caffeine that day, was actually another Connellsville graduate, and that's Jerry Connell. And him and his wife Savannah, they have a wonderful roasting business, Connell Roasting. So we are using them. So it's another connection. And funny enough. Not intended at all, but we opened on my great grandmother Sparks' birthday, Helen Sparks, who was her sister. I'm messing up the family tree.
No.
Our Jerry's great grandmother and our great grandmother were sisters, so it's another family tie that was not intended, but just happening out this way.
But it was blind. I was very much like, listen, I didn't know about the great grandmother, and also Jerry was in like choir with me in high school, but I was like, I don't care. Jerry's nice, awesome. I want the best coffee. He won blind taste test all the way through. It's awesome coffee, so we're really proud to be serving it.
That's so great.
Stand behind it
That's
ourselves.
So great.
It's awesome.
It's really the best of everything. The best of everything. That's what's there. I love that. And your staff. They're wonderful, dedicated. You're just blessed to have such a wonderful staff.
For sure.
Yeah, no, they are incredible because Andrew still has his full-time job, and I'm living an hour away in Pittsburgh, in Coriopolis, and I am coming up. But we have such a wonderful staff that is there and able to just run the business and be there every day. Andrew and I are there quite a bit when we can be, of course. But we have such trust in them, and they're so capable, and it's just wonderful.
And more than run the business, they're like about it. Like they're trying to like make it their own, make improvements. They're passionate. 2 of our employees left their jobs before we were even done with construction and like came and helped
with construction,
with cleaning and with getting ready and bringing in equipment. And we're there for like the month and a half leading up to open with like no glory, all like mud, dirt, gross, and
all the crazy.
Ran right with us whenever we started, and none of us have stopped running. So it's really special to have like people that I think, they're passionate about, but also we're passionate about them. Like Liz and I both have like had bosses that have maybe not cared what we thought, and we absolutely care what they think, and like try to empower them to like. We don't have the answer. Let's all figure it out together. And it's awesome to like watch them do it too.
I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. That's awesome. So let's talk about when the customers walk in. What do you want them to feel?
I definitely, a little bit of that sense of community. It's so endearing, I guess, to see, there's maybe a couple that walks in and then a couple walks in behind them and they know each other and they haven't seen each other in so long, and how great that is. We really want them to feel that sense of community, at least from my end.
I think community is a great word to start with. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just, obviously we want it to feel inviting, and we want the coffee to smell nice, and we want, it to look a certain way, of course, but more so I think it's about whether it be the community of just the rapport we have with our customers and learning, people we're seeing every day and their names, and they're coming back to back, learning what their favorites are. But it's more fun just not eavesdropping, but you just hear the people say oh, how have you been? How's your grandkids? Or, just people catching up. It's so fun. People have breakfast clubs up there. They'll meet with their friends, and they're driving in from maybe 20, 30 minutes in different directions. And they're people that wouldn't have that. Maybe they would have that space, but it's completely open,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's, I think I think the community piece of it is really what we want them to feel. And I love what Liz said about hearing people's conversation, because upstairs will be all these pockets of people and kids running over to this table. And there's it just feels really natural, and it's a third space that can be used by everybody. I think inviting and welcoming was really good. And I think special. I think we made it in a way that I think that it feels elegant. It feels beautiful. The stained glass windows are so pretty, but I think we tried to put detail in every space that we could within reason to make it feel like it was intentional. And so I don't think you'll find cuter lampshades in
right.
a 20-minute drive.
That's right.
And I'll stand by that.
That's right. Custom floors from Primo Coatings.
That's
in
right.
Connellsville. We got to pick our custom blend and our epoxy floor downstairs. So
Well, all those details, every little detail, you talk about creating a user experience and a customer experience, but all those details, everyone tells the customer, we care about you.
Yeah.
In some way. Yes.
Probably too much.
Yes.
Probably too much. Liz is always first draft, just put something out there. We care too much.
That's right. It's good.
Yeah.
It is
sometimes
good.
Just okay, stick it to the wall, then we'll edit, we'll keep going.
Exactly. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And finally, just one more question, and I think you've already answered this too, really, but what's the response been from the community? And it certainly sounds like they have arrived.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think we passed our inspections, opened the next day, and that first day was just crazy. Just every first wave of every person that we've ever known in the mountain just coming out those first days before Christmas, and still coming out in the cold. And then finding all these new people that we've never known has been incredible. Both the people that are new to the mountains, or maybe from, mountain's a very wide term, because anywhere within 30 minutes is probably considered mountain. We're not afraid to drive places, but meeting all these people that are coming from different pockets, and also tourists and people that are, here for ski season, or just saw a sign, or the people that, have a house at Hidden Valley and now have somewhere that feels like they can get in on the community and get in on the local, is really special, I think, to welcome those people in too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to both of you, Andrew and Liz, for creating this welcoming community place. We're just so excited to have you here, and just so excited for what's to come. And I can't wait to see what's going to come. We'll keep following your social media.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It took a lot of hard work to transform a vacant church into Sparks in the Valley. But with the angels that came to help, it seemed that divine intervention was at work here too. And there was another powerful force that kept the siblings moving forward during those renovations. It was the belief that they were creating a welcoming space for people to gather to enjoy quality food, coffee, and shopping. A creative place for local artisans to flourish, and a joyful place for celebrations, self-care, and community. A place to pour out love. Mother Teresa said, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." Liz and Andrew are doing just that with Sparks in the Valley, a place that is leaving customers happier for the experience. Thanks so much for being with us.